This is the I Love Success podcast. I'm Peter Junior, and I have made a vow to myself to help as many people as possible to achieve their dreams. Let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome back to the I Love Success podcast. My virtual world tour continues, and today I travel to Belgium to meet with a true badass. Junior Lefevre is intense. So intense that nobody wanted to train with him as he was knocking people out right and left in practice. With the mindset, every training is a championship. Although he had a hard time finding sparring partners, he managed to become a two-time world champion, three-time European champion, and a lot more. So I actually have more than 500 victories. And one thing that I want to share is that 86% of the time that Junior competed, he actually won, and 95% he medaled. That is an amazing statistics, which speaks volumes of the mindset of one of the strongest in the world. So let's welcome Junior Lefevre.
Okay, welcome to all of you. Thank you for this interview. Thank you.
I'm grateful to talk to you. As I told you before, as a karate athlete myself, I've been watching you. I always got ideas from you. I always love your fighting style. But can we go back to when you were 8 years old and your father brought you to the karate school? What do you remember from your first practice?
My first practice. Why did I start karate? Because that was the main point. I was bullied on school. I was living in a very bad neighborhood in Brussels, in Molenbeek, where you have, it's very multicultural. And I was always bullied by a lot of Muslim young boys that were, in communities, and I was there alone, like an alone son. And even the teachers at school say to my dad, your son should try to defend himself a little bit because he just let him do. So the first step of a father is, okay, he's watching a karate sensei. He went to the class, and I've practiced karate. I remember my father saying me, okay, you will try karate, judo, aikido, and after a month, you have to make a choice, and you will choose one path. And I decided to do karate.
Okay. And do you remember, like at that point when you were 8, 9 years old and growing up as a teenager, how was your confidence?
Actually, I was good in karate. I didn't know that. I was quite good in karate, but on that time I did prefer the kata part, the technical part, because I was always like afraid to fight. Maybe with my past bullies, feelings that I had. But then I have a really hard father, really strong. I remember I went to a club that was in Schaerbeek with a lot of strangers where they were used to fight. And the really first day I arrived there, I was like a blue belt, but more a technical blue belt. I have a little boy from my age, green belt, say, oh, how are you? Do you want to spar with me to warm up? And he beat the shit out of me. Really. I was bleeding, my eye was blue, and I was looking at my dad like, Dad, please help me. The only thing my dad said was, go back. And another parent was there. Oh, I will give him some tissue. And my father said, oh, what do you do? Why do you touch my son? But he's bleeding. And my father say, is it your son? No, so don't touch him. He will learn. He will learn. And so, went back to him because even it was hard. I could talk with him and I said, Dad, why are you like that? And he said to me, life is hard, son. And you have to understand when something like this happened to you, you have only two ways: or you go down or you stand up. And I want you to learn how to stand up. So next time when you have that kid, you go back again till the time you will win. Wow. And so it took me 6 months before I could beat that kid up. And the time I beat the kid, after I went to the kid and say, "Oh, do we make warming up like usual, sparring?" And the kid, "Oh no, I got pain today. Oh, my leg is sore." And I understood my dad's position in a certain way. I say, "Thank you, Dad." And he said, "Yeah, you have to be like this. Every time you have to train like to be the best, because people always want to put you down. That's life. Life is hard." So that's how I learned karate.
I love that. And where does that come from your father? Where does his mindset come from?
My father is absolutely not a karateka. My father is a baker. He make a bakery and pastelery, cakes.
Yeah.
So that's his job, making cakes. But he was really dedicated with me, and really his mindset. I think I don't know if I can be so strong as him.
Yeah.
Because my father was quite wealthy, because we had like different shops. But my father and my mother got a dispute, and my father had to take a choice, or to keep me or to keep his business. And the day after, he sold everything and I was with him. So that was quite hard. I don't know if I would be able to do same. Like if tomorrow I would let everything down just to keep my kids. Oh, I don't know. Really, I don't know. But my father is someone hard, but with a good heart.
That's so beautiful. And can you talk a little bit, competing, you've competed a lot in your life, and I know you're a traditional karateka as well. What is it with competing that you enjoy and that you like?
Okay. I compete a lot, really a lot, but not so long. When you look the karate career, I stopped when I was about 24, 25. So it's quite short. So I will explain myself why. For me, competing is part of my practice. When I did start karate, my father, is true that always told me you have to try to be the best. So on the training point of view, I always wanted to achieve to be better than the day before. And so competing for me was like a training. So winning or losing in competition, of course, I prefer to win the competition, but it was how I achieved the competition. I did better than last time at the competition? Yes or no? What can I include in my own trainings thanks to the competition? So I did love the game. I love to fight, and I love the game of the competition, but I prefer the training than the competition.
And how like when did you realize that you could become like a champion? Like when was it a specific moment in your time when you were like, oh, I really want to become a European and world champion and I think I can do it?
Um, I think my good point is that I always did put some objectives, some targets that were achievable for me, to goals that I could reach.
Yeah.
So my first goal as kid was to be like a national champion. So when I was 9, I went to see a national championship, and I said, "Dad, I want to be like him." And that guy was like all senior Belgium champion. And so my dad looked at me and say, "You want to be like that? Really?" Because we have two ways. But my dad said, "We have two ways to work, you and me. Or you do karate for pleasure, like everyone, then I will not invest a lot. You do 3 times a week and you have a pleasure. Or you want to become like him, but you will suffer like him. And I will help you by trying to find the best teachers, making private classes, and so on and so on. So thanks to him, I achieved my first goal, that was being Belgium champion. I was Belgium champion Kata, Kumite, then the second time, then the third time. And I'm looking down the European level, and I say, yes, I can do it. I'm sure I can do it. And that's how I became the first European Kata and Kumite champion in the WKF level. And even my own country, we have selections. In each country, you have selections. So when I went for the selections, they wanted me to choose or for Kata or for Kumite. And I was young, at that time, the cadet category is like the juniors now. So I was about 16. So the selection was when I was 15. And I said to my dad, I don't know why they want me I don't know what to choose, because I'm good in both. Yeah. And my father defend me, went to the board and say, he's champion in both. He has to be selected in both. If you can prove me he's not good enough, I accept it. But if he's good enough, he has to go for both, or I go to court. And so I went, and in one way, the federation was only hoping I will fail, but I won.
And how did that feel to become, as a 16-year-old, like a European champion in both Kata and Kumite?
No, of course, yeah. On that day, I was the most happy man, the most happy kid on earth, because the pain you did, and when you are 16, you want to enjoy your girlfriends, going out with your mates and things like that. I was home. I was doing my katas. I was doing my kumite. I was fighting. I was doing everything but the social part that was really, really restricted. I had friends, but when my friends say, "Oh, you want to go to the pub with us, or to the movie?" "Oh no, I have to go training." So after 2 or 3 times, they even didn't ask me anymore. So I can't blame them. That's a bit normal. I think karate people, we are like in another world. Yeah. On a high level, we are just in another world. So the good part, I succeed. But what I understood was, who more pressure I put on myself, who better I was. So that's quite funny, because I understood when I was 16 that you have several types of people. People that when you press them, they became bad. And when you motivate them, they are good. And me, I was the other side. Who more my father was pushing me, you have to win. This one wants to beat your ass, and he's better than you. Who more I was like exploding from inside. I remember the trick, my father's trick was to say when I was 15, "Oh, that guy, I heard that he said he would kick your ass." But that wasn't true. My father didn't understand what he was saying. The only thing was he wanted me to be angry, because he knew that if I was too relaxed, I was not so good on the tatami. But when I was under pressure and in fire, my level was really on top. Yeah. And you can see all the achievements I've made was with the best people. Yeah. I don't know, I can give you names. Yeah. When I had to fight the first time Wade Otto, when you are 18 years old and you have a legend like that in front of you. Yeah. Normally legends in front, and you are like so young, you piss in your pants. Yeah. And me, the only thing I wanted was to beat him off. Yeah. So that's the way. And I understood that some kind of people, you have to press them, and the more pressure I had, the better it was.
And how, like, why do you think that's it? Like, if you would think in your mind, why is it like that, you think?
I guess my education, because I was hard from the start.
Yeah.
And actually, when you are, and some coaches were like that with me, oh, Junior, it will be good today, massage, massage the back. And I was just soft on the mat. So I'm just a kind of person, you have to be hard because I'm a hard person from inside. I'm living alone with my father. I don't have the mother part.
Yeah.
I'm just tough.
Yeah.
And I'm built like this. So you have to psychologically understand me, and who more pressure I have, the better I was. Point. And
I love
I
that.
understood as a coach, and that is good, that athletes are different.
Yeah.
So as a national coach, I am different depending on the reaction on everyone. So I make some drills with them, and then I see this one, okay, I have to talk with him. This one, I have to let him in his zone, in his sphere of confiance. This one, I have to push him. I have to scream at him. So I understood that. That's why I think I became a quite successful coach, because I can handle those kind of situations.
And how did it affect you as a person? You're this super successful karate athlete, super hard. You feed under pressure, but outside of the dojo and outside of competing, how did you deal with the softer side as well?
Outside of the mat, I'm really good. I mean, I don't think anyone on earth here on the karate world can say I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Because when someone asks me a favor, I'm the first one to do it. Because I'm a karate person, and I think we need to have respect for each other.
Yeah.
You need to understand each other, whatever genders, colors, ways, whatever. I understand everything, and I help everyone. People are willing to come to my dojo, they are free to come. You want me to go over, I have absolutely no problem to go over, whatever country it is. But once it comes to a mat, I don't know, it's like a cheap change. I remember when I was a kid and I was preparing in the European Championships, the worst for the people was the training. Outside of the training, I was laughing with them, I was making jokes, I was making stupidities like any other adolescent. But once on the mat, if you talk to me, it was too much. So why I was telling, if you are in front of me, is that you want to beat me. That's all. That was my mentality. So the people that succeed to understand that became champions also, because they were hard with me. And that's why on a certain moment, my club was one of the most successful clubs we had in Europe. In a certain time, you had myself, I was still a competitor and a sensei. You had Diego van der Schrik.
Yeah. It's an amazing fighter.
Amazing fighter that was European champion, vice world champion, that lost of Rafael. You had Timothy Peterson.
Yeah.
From the Netherlands. You had, we call them the Owen twins, and they became also on European level medalists. So I had a lot of medalists on European level. But my club, on that time, my club was very small, because there was only two ways. Or you keep the level or you go out.
Yeah.
So for the financial part, it was not good.
Yeah.
My club was not good for my pocket. It was not good.
Yeah.
Oh, I have jokes like that I can share. I was meeting people in the street in Liège. Oh, hello, sensei, how are you? And oh, kid, how are you? Why you don't come back to karate? He looked at me, with you, with your band. You were kicking my ass the whole time.
Yeah.
I was only an orange belt, and said, no, 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 that's too hard for me.
Yeah.
And then after I look my club and I see Diego, this one, all black belts, blah, 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 blah. And then no one in the middle and few starters.
Yeah.
And I realized, damn, something is wrong.
Yeah.
I made something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's how I start really my club properly. A competitor, a competitive class and a normal class.
Yeah.
I was just mixing too much.
Yeah. And let's talk about haters. I know you've had a lot of issues with your federation and with people like trying to hate on you. What
Yeah.
why do you think some people don't want other people to succeed, and how should we deal with that? Because anybody watching this right now that wants to become a world European champion is going to have that issue.
Okay. In every sport, every federation, we have problems. Sometimes problems are solved internally, sometimes thanks to court, or sometimes the athlete just stopped. What happened to me was I was a very successful competitor. I had a certain band with my federation that in Belgium, when you have a certain result, normally the Olympic Committee give you a certain kind of money back. You know, the federation gets money because of your results. Because I was European champion for Belgium, as a cadet, as a junior, even the first time as a senior, normally a certain package has to be for me. But what did the federation? They used the package for the whole team. And I had no problem with that they use part of my money for the team. But that they say to me, you cannot do this and this and this. You cannot go and train with Jose Manuel Leguera in Spain. I could not understand. I say, yes, but that's my money. I want to spend money to go to Spain and learn more to become world champion. That's how start the conflict, because of money. And because I was touching a point that I show to other clubs that the federation was stealing money. So I became like the black sheep of the federation, the guy to hit. So anything that I did was taken like a mistake. We have several national training days to follow, about 12 a year. And I did miss one. One because I was giving class. And I say to the federation, I have to give class. It was to a regional federation. And I received a letter that I was not selected anymore because of the lack of one training. Even I was European senior champion, and I was much better than anyone else. Yeah. So of course I went to court. I won, of course. But the reaction was, okay, we can select you, but we are not obliged to coach you. So I remember I went to the World Championship 1998 in Rio de Janeiro. I was 19 years. My father could not go with me. Why? Because I had the court appeal the day before I could fly. So I just knew the day before I could fly, I could go. And I go with the team, and I'm there with my paper that I can go by the court. And they say, okay, we land in Rio. They say, the team go with the bus, you take a cab. Well, you are not part of the team, you are outside. That was so hard. For me, that was so hard. The team, they say to my team members, if they talk to me, they would exclude them from the team. So I went there so frustrated. And I remember I was in Yoi fighting. I look, no coach. And in that time, it was an obligation to have a coach, if you remember. Now it's not anymore because we have so many categories. And lucky for me, Yap Smal was there as a central referee. And he came to me and said, where's your coach? And I say, I don't know, in the hotel, because everyone lost the first round, so they went back. He went to the central table and they agree I could fight because, of course, WKF do not sanction a fighter because of a mistake of a federation. So that was good. And I became third. I lost in semi-final from Samad Azadi. He was very good, really good fighter. Normally, I never lost of that guy. I lost because I hit him. I lost because of contact. So I was so pissed. I lost my way to go to the final. I became third at the World Championship. I won 6-0 for the third place. And I was unhappy to be third at the World Championship. So can you imagine how it is as 19 years old, being medalist of the world and being unhappy? Yeah. So when I came back, I said to my dad, I will stop karate. And he said, we find a solution. And that's how I had that relationship with Croatia in a certain way. A lot of countries wanted to accept me, Luxembourg, Germany, but every time it was, oh, you have to be citizen for 4 years or 3 years, and then you can apply for the citizenship. Yeah. And I believe in God. And I think God was there for me. In 1 week, I received a Croatian passport. Why? Because ex-Yugoslavia just split, and there was a certain facility for Croatia, for Serbian to become Croatian, for Serbians that were living in Croatia for so many years to just get the passport. And I had that facilities. Of course, the Croatian Federation accept me, and I really thank them for that. I had to prove I was better than the other guy. I did the Croatian nationals trainings and everything, but they really accepted me. And the first championship I did for them was Oviedo. I think it was in '99 for the U21 category. And we didn't have internet and sport data like we have now. I was selected for both countries. I was selected for Belgium and I was selected for Croatia. But Belgium didn't know. Belgium didn't know. I shut up, because I knew Belgium at the last moment will say, oh, you are not selected. So I continue my case. I was selected for both countries. And again, I got a letter, you are not selected to go to the European Championship. But I go to Oviedo myself. And the guy in place, the Belgian guy said, no, he cannot participate. He's Belgium. And I show the Croatian flag. And he said, but no, he's Belgium. And he go to the central table to Esteban to say, no, he can't participate. And Esteban said, but what's the problem? He got 2 passports. So he can do what he wants. So now he's not Belgium anymore for us. So just go on the side. And that day, I won the European Sub-21 Championship without 1 point against me.
You were angry.
And the only thing I wanted was to have a Belgian boy in front of me. Yeah. The only thing that made me sad that day and happy on the other side was when I heard the national anthem. Yeah. Because that was not my own anthem. Yeah. That was the one of Croatia. And I was happy to work with them. But of course, my heart was still for Belgium on that time. Yeah. And with the time, it changed. Yeah. With the time, it changed.
Thank you for sharing that. And
so what I can say to people that got problems, is that you have solutions if you fight.
Yeah.
But you have to be strong, because this, what happened to me, if this happened to someone else, maybe that person just dropped down. And you need to have support of your parents, of your friends, because alone I would not do it.
Yeah.
Because when I came back from Brazil, I was broken.
It's incredible, and it also shows that, you know, you people always don't know the full story, right? Because you look at the records and say, oh, he plays third, he should have been the happiest guy in the world, and then all this shit is going on in your life. And that I think that's a great lesson to understand, that winning is not always the same as happiness. Can you agree with that?
Yes. Winning in the championship, winning also depends on the effort you put.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that because, you know, when I was world champion, oh, I was the most happy man on earth,
Yeah.
because I was training like crazy. I remember, I have a daughter, and I say to my wife, I don't want my daughter to do the same, because I know what I have passed through, the pain, the tears, everything. And I was training like 6 hours a day. I was a damn machine. I was just a machine, doing push-ups nonstop, 150 push-ups nonstop, sit-ups, I don't know, 500s of them, making quality trainings till my knees goes on the floor. And so I was really, really happy at the World Championship when in Munich, and I did really good fights. And when you see the videos, I don't know if you saw the videos of Munich.
I've seen it.
On a certain time, I was losing against that guy from Venezuela that was really good.
Yeah.
And again, it was only the mental part that says, "Fuck, you have to continue. You have to go on till the last second." And after, bam, 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 everything goes back, and I feel that positive motivation coming back, and you know, everything goes right.
Yeah.
In 2002. When it came for the World Championship in Madrid, I have a very tough draw. I think first round was Iran, second round Cyprus, third round Russia, then Turkey, Alagash. Then in semi-final I had Spain, and in final I have Di Domenico from Italy. And I did not train for that World Championship. Why? Because I had to make a choice. Having money, because with Quali, I could, by being of a national team, even for Croatia, I get nothing. So my work was my club. I had my club at that moment, and I needed to give class. So I didn't have the chance to make the training I did for 2000. I remember only 1 week before I started running, doing some quality work. But by my experience, I reached the final. I lost the final. I could win it. When you see the match, it was tough. You know,
Yeah.
I was a bit angry, but I say, oh, I'm happy for him. It's good. And I went back and I said to my dad, you know, this time I'm vice world champion. I'm not happy and I'm not sad. It's time I'm stop. It's time for me to stop competition. I don't want to drag it and to make like a lot of fighters so long as possible, and that people will see them like, oh, he's nothing anymore. I say to my dad, I want to go out with a really good level. And I went out and I was still good. And I came back to what I really loved, that was training. And kicking people's asses on training. And here, after I was contacted by people from Australia, and I put another challenge. And my next challenge was being the best trainer in the world.
Yeah.
So you see, I've put myself challenges,
All the
be a
time.
national champion, be a European champion, be a senior European champion, be a senior world champion. And after I was like a bit bored. I did everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a good club now. I need another challenge. And that other challenge was I need to be the best coach. I need to be a good coach. First, it was to be a good coach, a hard coach. And I came back. I remember I came back in my dojo training hard, hard, hard. And my level went up again. And I was contacted by Australia to go to the IAS. And I think there are still stories there people from Australia know because they were not respectful. Those guys, they were kids. They were kids playing, going out. And for me, is that the national team? I've put all the guys of the national team and I say, I'm a trainer and I will kill everyone here. And I asked, I remember I asked Concassis, that was referee, to referee. I did, if I remember well, I did 34 matches nonstop. 30-second pause between each matches. And I won all of them. I lost 1 point.
Can we
And
just
so
talk about that? Like, what is it with you that you do that? You know, you talk about training, you train till you fall apart. And like, what's going on in your mind? How can you push yourself more than most people? Like, what is it in your mind? Like, what are you seeing when you're training?
I try to push myself first because I want, like I said before, I want to be. When I did the last competition, I knew my level was not so good as 2000.
Yeah.
So I say to myself, you have to wake up. You have to wake up or you will be like everyone else. And I know how it is in karate. Your name is there, the day after your name is not there anymore. And if you want to be someone we remember, you have to be exceptional. And we know people that are exceptional. Rafael Agayev is someone exceptional. Jose Manuel Egea is someone exceptional. Wayne Otto is someone exceptional. Biamonti is someone exceptional. Everyone with his little history and his kind, Pina, because he came with the kicks. But I know people better that people forgot. Example, Sedina Balde. He's a great guy, but no one remember him. If you ask a kid, who is Sedina Balde, he will look at you, I don't know. And that guy was also exceptional, but didn't perform enough. And I didn't want to be like them, and I wanted to be remembered. Because I think the day you die, people have to remember what was your acts, what was your actions. So you have to let something, your fingerprint there.
What do you want how do you want people remember you the day you kick the bucket?
So the day I will be too old and I will go out of there, I want people to remember me first as a good competitor that was complete because I could succeed in both disciplines. So I can be remembered like a true karateka.
Yeah,
And
it's incredible.
second, like a good coach in both disciplines again. And like a good man in the other side, like a good man, because I'm a good man. I hope I'm a good man.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Junior. I have a final question to you, and then I'm gonna let you go. For people that are watching and listening to this that have a big dream, it might be in karate, it might be in something else. They want to become, the best. They want to really go after their dream, but they're afraid. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to do it. Like what would be your best advice for them? Where do they start right after this podcast?
At the start, I was afraid too. So you have 2 points. Or you are lucky because you have someone that can see your talent. With me, it was my father. And in a lot of good people that I know, parents are in an important part. Sometimes it's the coach, but a lot of time it's the parent. Or if you are old enough, you have to be able to analyze yourself before you analyze the other ones. And that was wisdom words that I had from my sensei, Jose Manuel Ejea. When I went to train with him, I was like a young champion. He was really an icon for me, an idol. And he say, I remember his words, Junior, you're good, and you are not good. And I look at him, wow, what does he want to mean? You think all the time you are thinking about the other ones, what you have to do because the other one is doing Kizami Gyaku, what you have to do because this one is doing that. And you don't know what you do. You don't know what are your strong points, your weak points. So first, before trying to analyze the other ones by videos, internet, and stuff like that, try to know yourself first. When you will know yourself 100%, your good and your mistakes, you will be able to adapt to the other ones. And that's how the chess game starts in karate. Because even you are weaker than the other one, you can win.
I love that. And I think it goes for whole life. If you have to know yourself first.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Junior, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing so open-heartedly. Truly appreciate it. If people want to connect with you, where can they find you? And I know you have this camp coming up in just a couple of days. Can you talk about that as well?
Yes, I can talk about that. So it's already a few times that I'm doing some camps with the help of some of my people of the English team and some of the Adidas team. And this time I want to do the camp to be a bit special, complete, kata and kumite. So this time we have the honor to have Yukimitsu Hasegawa and Antonio Diaz as teacher for the kata part. Then you have myself, Gojita Arcania, Jordan Thomas, and René Smal. So we are all champions. I want to make, even in the time of lockdown, I think it's important that people can receive instructions from people that are good people that can give good feedbacks, good tips. So how to continue to evaluate even in this hard period, hard time. And at the same time, the money that they invest go partially to a charity funding. So we are not doing it only for I want money. No, we also do that for a kind of charity that we are funding. So I really hope people will be jumping on it. One, because the lessons will be good. And two, because thanks to that, they are doing a good action.
Awesome.
If people are having problems, financial problems or anything, they can still contact me. Because of course the politic of Adidas is not of making distance with people. It's trying to make that sport has to be open for everyone. Yeah, so it's also very important to say they can contact me by my personal email, that is lefevrejunior@yahoo.fr. They can contact me on WhatsApp, by Facebook, Junior Lefevre. I have several Facebook accounts, or by Instagram. Sometimes I'm a bit slow to answer. I'm really sorry to the people that are watching. I'm really sorry for that, because I have to deal with a lot of things, organizing championships, organizing seminars, my own club that I have to restart. But I answer. Yes. So I hope people will be present. I hope maybe you will be present also, my friend.
Thank you.
And I will see you.
Thank you
And
so much.
for the other parts, stay safe.
Yeah, thank you, Junior, and thank you everybody that watched so far, that been here with us today. Uh, if you want to learn more about us, go to ilovesuccess.co. We have almost 200 amazing conversation with world champions, UFC champions, uh, entrepreneurs, authors, New York Times bestsellers. We have talked to amazing people that are sharing with their heart. We want what I want to do. I want to help at least 10 million people to go after their dreams. So if you enjoyed this conversation, share some love, share this with someone that needs to hear Junior's message, because it's incredible. Thank you guys, and talk to you soon.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.